for Lit too. We've had to adjust a lot of things like our practices and also our shows clearly, but this is a pretty solid audience for us. So we're very happy. And obviously there's also no excuse for not coming to our shows now. And we have them still every Wednesday. So we'll see you guys also next week. But I'll just get started. I don't know how you guys have been dealing with everything. I know I've seen a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram kind of updating us all the time, like bombarding us with what they're doing, whether it's like cooking or maybe, you know, they're like doing puzzles or like they're organizing their houses. I have actually taken a different approach though, and I have been living in a fantasy world for most of quarantine. So I've actually been having a really good time doing that. I think fantasy world is the most productive use of my time. And I'll let you guys know, I'm in this one fantasy I go back to a lot, where it's really fun for me. It's when I'm back on stage and everything's back to normal. And I'm very at peace on stage. And it's like a sold out crowd, standing room only, which is of course the key indicator of how you know it is a comedian's fantasy. And who is in the audience? None other than R&B singer Trey Songz. And I can tell by, thank you for laughing. And if you guys don't know who that is, obviously none of you have a sex playlist. So bear with me as you're probably not speaking my language right now. Trey Songz is a very good looking, very talented millionaire to say the least. And he does a lot of tours. And obviously in this fantasy, you know, this person who normally like he could be anywhere if he has like a night off in the nation's capital, like probably, you know, getting slapped in the face by titties at a strip club, but he actually wanted to go to a comedy show in a bar in DC. So who am I to say no to that? So he's at my show and I like killed my set kind of like I am right now, I'm sure. And after the show, I like made fun of him a lot because he has like a dumb little name. He says last name Song spelled with a Z at the end. So go look him up when this is done. And he was like, hey, I just want you to know that you are so funny and so clever. And as much as I want to make you come again and again and again and again, as I imply in all of my songs, because I'm extremely capable, I just respect you and your craft and your obvious work ethic so much that I don't only want to give you one night of pleasure. Also, you're very pretty. So I'm not sure why in my own fantasy, one of the hottest men to ever exist in the world, we don't have sex, and instead I make him respect me. So you're welcome, feminism. I'm still fighting the good fight. You're welcome, little girls everywhere. That's, you know, I'll applaud for myself. Thank you. Guys, I was also unfortunately laid off from work, which is why now I have more time to fantasize as opposed to when I was at work, I only had like 7.5 hours, but now I have a full 8 to dedicate to it, which is really fun for me. What I think I missed most about work, besides the paycheck, is you miss your work friends, which is very unfortunate. You don't want to think about that social interaction until it's gone. I think what I don't really miss is the guy at work who used to text me about my outfits all the time. And that is a real thing that happened a lot. And full disclosure, I did flirt with this man for 2 weeks, but this was in December, you know, back when Corona was like just in China and the whole world's like, I don't give a fuck. Like back then, it was a while ago. But I had the epiphany. Ladies, you know the epiphany we have about men when you just start thinking about them more and you're just like, okay. I feel so much better. I just had to get that out of my system. Like, I'm good now. That guy did not have the epiphany about me, though. It was just a very one-sided epiphany to have. I think I was interested in him at first because he's my type, you know, in the sense that he's tall, has a nice body. And I knew he had a nice body just because the second we started texting, he immediately sent me pictures of his body that was just shirtless, which was always unsolicited. And also, he was a little bit stupid. Yes, that is how I like my men. I like kind of the guys who failed out of their second year of community college. Like I'm into that, you know, like stay humble, kiddo. Like I want one of those. This guy also used to send me videos of him working out. which is not something I ever need to see. I do not care that you do that. One of the videos he sent me was actually 10 minutes long, and I have been unemployed for 4 weeks. And in this 4 weeks, I have still not found the time to watch his 10-minute long video. Please don't send me that crap. I don't care. I'm going to save. I'm going to share with you guys some of the text I received from this man. We'll call him Daryl just because that's a great name for an idiot. One time I was wearing a black skirt and a light purple cardigan, and he said, "Hey there, beautiful. Loving that black mini glasses smiley emoji. The lavender sweater makes me dream of blossoming tulips in May." And I just feel like he was trying to kind of emulate a romance novel that takes place in the 1800s. You know, like one of the ones where the author refers to the man's dick as his raging thunder, like kind of like one of those, I think. He continued on and said, "Always remember, your long, beautiful legs are an asset, never a liability." And I know you guys can't tell right now because I'm sitting down, but I have very nice legs. I'm 6'2". Thank you, genetics. I didn't know what he meant by this one. I saw liability and I was like, "Are you trying to sell me insurance?" Like it didn't communicate well with me. I one time came in and I was wearing a red dress to work. And this is what he says to me. He says, "Good morning, pretty. Coming in here looking all Valentine's Day ready. Heart, cat eye, smiley emoji." I did wear a red dress close to Valentine's Day, but that's because I own 6 work dresses and that just happened to be in the rotation for that week. I don't dress on theme. Daryl was very nice around Valentine's Day and he actually got me a gift. He texted me that morning. He said, "Hey, I got you something. It's under your desk." And when he meant under my desk, he didn't mean on my chair, pushed in under my desk. He meant like on the floor, like where my work shoes sit. That's where that was. He did get me a heart-shaped box of chocolates. He took the time to wrap it in the plastic CVS bag, which was very sweet. He also left the price tag on. So I'm happy to announce that Daryl thinks I am worth $4.95. So just absolutely flattering. Yes, thank you, Daryl. He's not invited to this show. I'll let you guys know I'm not a horrible person. I haven't heard from Daryl in a while. So when we both got laid off, I wanted to text him just because I was getting worried because I hadn't gotten any like shirtless pictures or any workout videos from him. And I was like, I hope he didn't kill himself. So I texted him and I was like, "Hey, like, how you doing?" Because we both just got laid off. We had a very nice, normal coworker conversation until he ended it with, "Let me know if you need anything. Netflix and binge can be so monotonous. FYI, I'll make myself available if you want to swap out the binge portion for chill." To which I replied, "I am practicing social distancing." So Daryl is an interesting fella to say the least. All right. Well, I hope y'all are feeling warmed up. So thanks, guys. I really do appreciate it. We're going to start the first house comic for the night. Guys, please do this, or you can unmute yourselves if you want, and give it up for Edie Demi. Woo!
Wow, all right, this is awesome. Hey. I'm just going to do the whole set like a grandparent with my forehead in here, if that's cool. I'm going to do that. Would that be cool? I don't know. This is cool. I will say this is the first time I've done something online for comedy. It's weird. The only 2 things I've been doing with the webcam the past few weeks are having conversations about corporate synergy and flashing my genitals. A lot of the times it happens on the same call too, which is weird. But it's nice to be doing comedy for once. I will say I understand that it's kind of been tough getting up most days for people. So I do want to provide some advice for folks that are looking to kind of jack up their mornings, really take on the day. What I've been doing is I have set my alarm to the Price is Right theme music, which is perfect because it's so unbelievably difficult to be pissed off when you're on the Price is Right. It's difficult. It just feels so good. It just feels so damn good every morning. It's like you're entering your own showcase showdown, but you're just entering your shitty life, which is cool too, though. But just a bit of advice that's helped me out the last few mornings. Also, it works when you kind of enter the shower later and you look at yourself in the mirror and you realize what you've become. There's a lot of good sound effects for that. So it's perfect. You can sort of adjust to whatever you need there. I will say that the one thing I've been missing more than anything the last few weeks is just real audiences. But I've realized that I can create my own audience because I'm on the internet, which is great. Like, I don't need you guys to laugh for me. I really don't. I'm doing great. Listen to that. That's perfect. Doing awesome. I've also realized it works great for other situations, like when I actually do get my ass in the shower and I want people to congratulate me. I can have a standing ovation, which is just perfect. There's other situations too, like I call my parents and I want to remind them how much I love them. You know, there's things like that. But then inevitably, one of my parents will make some sort of racist comment about all of this being China's fault. And so then there's... So I can really just use the internet to react in any way I want, which is perfect. I will say too, you don't really need friends in this time period. Real people shouldn't matter. With the internet, you can kind of create your own friends. Like, I've built a very strong and steady relationship the last few weeks with actor Samuel L. Jackson. He's now a very close and personal friend of mine. He's on this call right now, which is great. Let's see if he'll answer. Sam, you there, man? You want to talk to us for a little bit?
Get the fuck out my face with that shit.
All right, I guess you're having a good time. You wanna catch up later? Maybe I can just solo call you.
Shut the fuck up!
All right, man. I love you too. All right, we'll talk later. All right. That's great. I've also gotten very close with actor Christian Bale the last few weeks. He's been really supportive of my comedy career, giving me a lot of feedback. Let's see what he thinks. Christian, you on? What do you think of my set so far?
I want you off the fucking set, you prick!
All right, that's not what I thought you'd think. I'm sorry about that, but
No, don't just be sorry. Think for 1 fucking second.
All right, that's disappointing. All right, I didn't realize he was such a dick. I worked on this all night too, which is kind of rough. So, you know, it's just...
Oh, good for you.
All right, I'm just gonna block him if that's okay. No more Christian Bale. We're good. He's gone. He's a dick. Jesus. All right. I also have to say, guys, I'm running out of cash quick, so I've had to take some corporate sponsorships for my stand-up. So let me see here. We got first on the docket? Aunt Jemima's Syrup is sponsoring my set tonight. Aunt Jemima. Here at Aunt Jemima's, we recognize that during these tough times, the bar for acceptable human behavior is being lowered significantly. Activities as simple as making a meal have become boring everyday chores that spin you into a deeper pit of self-loathing and depression. That's why we're recommending people just straight up drink syrup from the bottle and call it breakfast. I'm now legally obligated to do this. Oh, it's delicious. Aunt Jemima's, chug us, you piece of shit. All right, thank you, Aunt Jemima's. I will say one bit of good news I've received recently, guys. Actually, it was an article that came out recently that made me feel a little bit uplifted about the situation we're at. This past March, was the first month of March since 2002 where there wasn't a single school shooting. That's right. It's crazy. It's 18 years that happened. Yeah. Which just shows how insane the situation is, because even sociopaths are like, I really want to kill innocent people, but I don't want to get sick. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm not going out there. We'll just get them. We'll get them in the fall semester, guys. We'll go in the fall. Yeah. It's a little bit insane to me. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic about the situation in general. But I tend to be a very pessimistic person. Those of you who know me, I think there's glass half full people and there's glass half empty people. And there's people like me who take a sip from the glass and realize that we've been using it as an ashtray all night, which is a little bit rough. Which reminds me of our second corporate sponsor of the night. It's cigarettes. Cigarettes are sponsoring my show. Cigarettes, we recognize that you're all going to die soon anyway. Why not finally try smoking? Let's do this here. Don't tell my roommate. All right. Cigarettes, the cool kids had it right all along. All right, perfect. Thank you, Cigarettes, for the sponsorship. I will say, guys, as I start closing up a little bit here, we appreciate, just on a serious note, we appreciate all your support. Thanks to everybody that kind of joins us for these digital calls here. Just keep supporting your comic friends throughout all this. Join their live streams. I do want to ask my digital audience what you guys thought of the show tonight. Let me just get your feedback a little bit. See how you guys thought everything went. No.
Woo!
It was great.
Oh, all right.
Great, Edie.
You're
All
very
right,
good
that's
on
great.
it.
No, it's crickets, just crickets in the background. Let me ask, are you sure you guys didn't like the set here?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
All right, that's good feedback. I love that. All right. All right, as I close up, guys, I just want to say thank you one more time. It's going to be a phenomenal rest of the show. So I will slowly pass it back to Hetty. As we enter a purge, we're going purge, guys. Let's do it. We're purging. Everybody get your weapons. We're purging. All right, great. Thank you, Hetty. You can take it over.
Woo! Thank you, Evie. That was great. I'm very impressed with the dedication, especially drinking syrup, which is absolutely disgusting. And I feel like I need to drink water after watching you do that. So also go brush your teeth because cigarettes are bad for you. And best of luck to you in the purge. You will probably be the first one to go, actually. It's going to backfire on you. All right, guys, we're going to keep rolling in. Thanks again for joining us. Really appreciate you being here. Another hilarious community we got. He's super awesome, one of our house comics. Give it up for EJ. Woo!
All right. Thank you, guys. So to just give you guys an update, been watching a lot of TV, been streaming a lot of things. Some things are more interesting than others, of course. My parents, for example, are live streaming church almost every day. But, you know, Jesus can tell when you're not standing up and listening and singing the songs, Dad. So just think about that. My dad actually is he's a reverend, and he's been a reverend for about 10 years. And the way he became a reverend was by filling out a form online and paying $20. And he doesn't use his reverendship to preach. He uses it to park in handicap spots. So what would Jesus do? He would get a good spot at Trader Joe's. Now, my dad did have to take a test. It was 16 questions, 16 digits, just his credit card number. That's great, Dad. My name is EJ, or it might say Edmund there. It stands for Edmund John. I was named after my grandfather. And growing up as a kid, his gravestone was actually in our backyard, which is super weird. He's not even buried there. But my dad got this memorial stone because my grandfather was in the military, and he put it in our backyard, and it has my name on it. A little confusing. It really messed with my friends growing up. So we were playing hide and seek tag one time, and my friends couldn't find me, but they found my gravestone, and they freaked out. But I knew one of them was a true friend because he reached down and tagged the stone. He was like, "You're it, man. Forever." I was raised in the Midwest. I have a feeling there's some Midwesterners out there. All right. We're the polite type, sometimes overly polite. Like we'll stop on the highway, help you change a flat tire. Then we'll, invite you to dinner after that. And for years, you'll be in our mom's prayers. Or buried in our backyard. Depends on the Midwesterner. My mom, who I think is out there, is overinvested in my dating life. So if she had her way, she would be outside all my dates in a surveillance van, just like feeding me lines to say to the date. She'd have like an earpiece for me. She'd be like, "EJ, ask her about her faith." I'd be like, "Okay." And I'd ask her. And then she'd be like, "Now, ask her when she wants to have kids." And I'd be like, "Mom, she already said she doesn't want to have kids." And my mom would say, "Honey, tell her we're not interested." I'm single right now, but my last girlfriend was the lunch lady at our office. I hope she's doing well. I haven't seen her in a while. Yeah, you guys remember back in middle school, you'd see the lunch lady and you'd be like, damn, she is hot. Maybe that was just me. But some guys like girls in fishnets, and I like women in hairnets. I used to be cute with her in the cafeteria. Like, I'd come up to her, cover her eyes, be like, guess who? And she'd say something like, por favor, EJ, estoy trabajando. Which I think means, please, EJ, you're the cutest. Pretty sure. I was raised Catholic. I know there's some Catholics out there as well. It's a tough road. There's a lot of rules you got to follow. As an adult, you get to pick the rules. As a kid, you got to follow all the rules. And I remember getting in trouble one time, and the nun had to call home to my mom, which is never a good thing. She said, Mrs. Horseman, I don't know how to tell you this, but today, while we were praying, your son was coloring horns on Jesus. My mom's a strict Catholic. She wouldn't have any of that. She took me out in the backyard. She was like, EJ, you look at your gravestone. Think about what you did. And I did, and I never colored again. Now, there's some lazy Catholics out there, I gotta say. Like, yeah, I know you're out there. Everyone's out there. You only go to church twice a year. This year, it's going to be once. I know nobody made it on Easter. And what if you did other things like that? You only did them twice a year. Like, you went to the gym twice a year. But you're all about wellness and health and fitness, but you only make it twice a year. But you love your gym. Or twice a year, you worship the devil. Right? You're really just an uncommitted. Your friends are like, dude, you are so uncommitted to the cause. And I'm like, well, you know, I go to the big meetings, Halloween and R. Kelly's birthday. And then I just keep the devil in my thoughts, you know, and just commit random acts of evil. There's no like, good way to get out of these Zoom type calls. You know, you have all these meetings, all these phone calls. It's like, you're stuck at your desk. You need a good reason. You're not going anywhere. So what you have to do, I figured out how to do it. You have to pretend that you're having computer problems, you know? So you're like, yeah, I don't know. Something's wrong with my, and then you freeze. And then you're like, oh yeah, I don't know. There's just, I'm having some issues. And then you close your laptop and you're out of your Zoom call. All right. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to throw it back to Heidi.
Woo! Thank you, Edmund John, and your creepy
Way to go, EJ.
gravestone. That's horrifying, actually. I don't know how you didn't run away from home. That's pretty scary. I feel like y'all might want to. I feel like I want EJ to deliver all the news about Corona. I think he has a very nice, calming voice. Yes, yeah, right. He does. Guys, also fun little fact. Normally we wouldn't want you to like talk a lot, but like if you want to look in your upper right hand corner, you can actually type into the community and be like, that was hilarious, or I love this joke. Because we also appreciate feedback because we can't really hear you or see all of you, so it's kind of hard for us. But that's a fun little thing to do if you want to just be like, oh my God, EJ, your voice is so cute. Like, see, thank you, Max, for starting it. We appreciate that. All right, we're going to keep it going. Guys, your next comedian, super hilarious woman. Please give it up for Simone. Woo!
Hey, thanks, guys. So I know we've all been thinking about things that bring us joy in this dark time. So I'd like to share something that I always take comfort in, and that is the fact that at any given point, you can always spice up your life. Yeah, I love the Spice Girls, and I'm a Sporty Spice through and through. 100%. She's the reason I got this nose ring, right? Because it's a good look. Thank you. Thank you for those thumbs up. I need that right now. I'm so committed to the Sporty Spice lifestyle. that I made a career out of it. I'm a yoga teacher, and I did that so that I could live in athleisure wear 100% of the time. Like, I've been doing this since way before the quarantine, guys. Way before the quarantine. Now, you might think a Spice Girls fan of my caliber was following the girls around on tour like some kind of like 90s girl band deadhead. That is not the case. I was in 4th grade at the time, and my mom said no. So that put an end to that. We did come to a compromise, though. She took me to see the cinematic masterpiece that is Spice World. Now, if you are unfamiliar with this movie, let me tell you, it has everything. High-speed car chases, alien encounters, Elton John cameos. Honestly, what more could you want? I get it. It's not Tiger King, but let's just like, it was a different time, okay? It was a different time. Now, this movie brought out what I would call the most Catholic side of my mother. So it started with the scene where the girls have an unwed pregnant friend go into labor. Now, Nanner, I call my mom Nanner, reached into her purse to find her rosary beads, the glow-in-the-dark kind, you know, your theater beads. She reached in, pulled out her rosary beads, began praying, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for the Spice Girls, now and throughout the rest of this film. Amen. Now, moving on later into the movie, it's discovered that the girls have a bomb on the bus. Nanner went back into the purse, this time for the holy water that she keeps in there, and she began to anoint the screen, just, you know, covering all of our bases here. But it was when there was a scene with male backup dancers who happened to be wearing assless chaps that she was done. Marched me out of the theater straight into a confessional where it was apparently my job to apologize for the impure thoughts of the filmmaker. Now, guys, I have to admit that every time I tell that last bit, it kind of like kills me a little bit inside, because as a former equestrian, I really find it important to tell you all chaps are assless. Assed chaps are just pants. It's redundant. Okay, glad I got that off my chest. So let me share a little bit more about growing up as a Catholic kid in my experience. You heard EJ's, I'll let you know mine. So do you guys have like memories or thoughts that haunt you and just keep you up at night? So as a Catholic kid, you learn to sort these out into 2 kinds of categories. So you have your generalized anxiety, and then you have your sins. And the sins are the ones that you give yourself penance for, and penance is the punishment for the crime. Now, I've developed a shortcut. You just ask yourself, how many Hail Marys for that? So let's play. When I was a little kid, I thought it was really hilarious to sit at the back of the bus and flick off oncoming drivers. It's just like, because like, yeah, I'm really cool. This enraged one driver so much that he proceeded to cut off our bus, nearly killing a literal busload of children. How many Hail Marys for that? Like 1 per endangered life, maybe? Seems fair. So then I grew up and became a mean teen girl. Let me tell you, Tina Fey didn't make that shit up. Teen girls are awful. We will end you. I once told my friend that she was trying to fit 10 pounds of ass into a 5-pound skirt. How many Hail Marys for giving someone an eating disorder? Unclear. Still haven't settled on that one. So then there was the time that I told my gynecologist that she should cause physical harm to her daughter. Okay, so I get it. That one needs a little more context around it. So we'll get there. So her 3-year-old was starting to grow a unibrow, and she wasn't sure if she should pluck it or not. Now, I wasn't sure why this was coming up at my gynecology appointment. I guess my vagina also has a unibrow, so like it seemed topical somehow. Sure, okay, we'll go with that. So anyway, I was of the opinion, since girls are so terrible, as we just discussed, that she gotta pluck that unibrow because physical pain outweighs emotional trauma. But keeps me up at night because what if I was wrong? Like, what if I just deprived the world of the next Frida Kahlo and also maybe encouraged some light child abuse? How many Hail Marys for that? I don't know. That's it for me. I hope you guys liked it. I don't know.
Woo! Thank you, Simone. Guys, sing Simone's praises in the chat. Let her know how much you loved her because she was so great. Don't forget her vaginal unibrow that she just shared with us that she does have one. So thank you. We appreciate that. How many Hail Marys for starting a plague on the world? Anyone? Oh, interesting. I will literally never find out because this stuff is crazy in case there's children on the call. I don't know. Guys, we're gonna keep the no Hail Marys. I mean, there has to be like at least 1,000. I don't know. Maybe 1,000,000. For every this is getting too much into COVID-19. I'm not getting into that. Guys, we're here to laugh. Next to me, definitely gonna make you laugh. Super funny guy. This is his second year as a house comic. So I'm very excited to have him return. Please give it up for Ed. Woo!
Go ahead. Woo.
I know he's coming, don't worry.
Yes, my tiger queen. I am your leopard prince bearing gifts. Oh no. Is it Wednesday? Wednesday night? You know, ever since the government, said there's no more days of the week, it's just been one long day for me. Yeah, I'm not really. A little disheveled. That's all right. Come on in. Oh, come on in. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of a mess. I haven't showered or shaved in 2 days, weeks. I don't know. I'm getting the Wilford Brimley grandpa eyebrows here. They're growing, and my hair's getting so long. I'm starting to look like a combination of James Brown and Conway Twitty. So I probably should go buy a Flowbee. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Flowbee. But hey, don't judge me. Don't judge. Oh, social distancing. Social distancing. I'm sorry. But I'm willing to bet that some of you quarantine ladies out there haven't worn a bra or shaved your legs in like 2 or 10 days. So don't judge me, okay? Now, I know all about this not working thing. I've been retired. And retirement was great, man. It was good retirement. We traveled. I could go to the gym when I wanted to. I could go to the movies, go see music. I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, wherever I wanted. As long as my wife said it was okay. All right? So, it was great. Every night was Friday night. Every day was Saturday. And Sunday only existed for God in the NFL. And not necessarily in that order, okay? So that's good retirement. But then is the kids say now, shit got real. You know, I was quarantined, so now this is bad retirement. It's retirement where you just laying on the couch, watching Tiger King, smoking a bowl, eating popcorn, and having extended cocktail hour. But you know what that leads to? That leads to, in a couple of months, your friends being on the phone saying, did you hear about Ed? Yeah, didn't he just retire? It's really too bad. I don't want to be, did you just hear about Ed? No. But, okay, we got to do what we got to do for our country, though. Like, my parents, they were Depression kids, all right? And they kept that attitude of saving things and repurposing things all their life. Like, when I was growing up, they'd say, like, wait, what are you gonna do with that string? That's good string. You keep that. We could use that again. Or unwrapping the gift, they say, now careful how you unwrap that. That's good paper. We could use that paper over again. Or, you know, they'd say, hey, what's that gristle on your plate? You know, there's kids starving in Europe, you know? I wish I had gristle when I was a kid, all right? So, but my wife and I have been trying to be productive. Well, my wife's been productive, you know, she cleans the house and goes on walks and makes me meals. She's pretty wonderful. But I've been productive too. I've been exercising. Hey, let me ask you. I got a hypothetical situation. You know those online poker rooms? If you give them your credit card number, they don't really take the money out when you lose, do they? $2,378. So, I don't know. And we just got to do what the government says, which is stay home. Oh, that's tough. But then you got other government officials. The Lieutenant Governor of Texas said grandparents should be willing to sacrifice their lives so that their grandkids could maintain their lifestyle. Excuse my French. Fuck that. I gotta die so that Muffy and Chip can still get their BMW on their 16th birthday? I don't think so. But hey, let me tell you, I'm an American through and through. I'll do whatever they ask of me, but I'd take a bullet for my country, okay? I'd take a bullet. Well, probably in the leg. Through the fleshy part so it didn't shatter like any bone or anything like that. So, yeah, we're trying to be good, but life is crazy now. Like, remember when we used to think survivalists were nut jobs? Yeah, who's laughing now, huh? And this paper is now worth as much as this paper. It's crazy. It's crazy. And history is repeating itself, okay? Because Corona is just like AIDS. Corona is just like AIDS. No, not the viruses. The products. You know, Corona beer, and then there was AIDS candies. Some of you older folks remember from the 60s and 70s. But when the 80s and 90s came around and, you know, you said to somebody, may I offer you some AIDS? it just didn't go over, and that product went in the shitter. But Corona's alcohol, so they can probably get past being named after a bad pandemic. So I just want to leave you by saying, look, just listen to what President Cuomo says. I mean Governor Cuomo. Listen to what President Fauci says, and do what you gotta do. We'll get through this, and you guys can go back to work. I can go back to good retirement, and none of you are going to have to make that phone call that says, "Did you hear what happened to Ed?" Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for coming, and stay safe, okay?
Woo! Thank you, Ed. I need to drink some water. I'm also a little concerned that your daughter, I think, is on here right now, and you're like basically like F her kind of thing, which, okay, that might be like a family problem you're having right now. Also, obviously, Ed got his stimulus check. Okay, flashing that money in our faces. Wow, you fancy, huh? Okay. Well, we get it. You're bragging. Your time is up here. Thanks a bunch, Ed. Also, please share that Maker's Mark next time we're all together. We would appreciate it. All right, guys, your next comedian, super hilarious guy, of course. Give it up for Max. Woo! 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 I'm also slightly concerned, Max. Max, there you are. Thank you. Woo! All right, give us the laughs. Let's go.
Thanks, Ed, for rubbing it in our faces that someone can retire. That's just fantastic. Oh, well, it's just been fucking 3 weeks. I've been sitting here by myself, doing absolutely nothing. I deleted Facebook because I thought it was making me depressed. Turns out I just have depression. And now I don't know when anyone's birthday is. I bought a watch on Amazon. It said I could swim with it. It did not specify that I need to be able to swim without it. 1 out of 5 stars. It turns out hash brownies are not the plural for hash browns. I learned that. I think cookies should really be called bakies. I think teeth are fucking weird. When humans are being designed, and they realize that you had to process the food before it goes into the messy bits. I'm not sure what kind of 5-year-old god decided to put a bunch of grindy rocks in your face that you have to clean twice a day. Fuck it, let's just make a whole profession that judges you on it and flosses you aggressively while complaining that you are bleeding because your teeth do not have the consistency of a human foot. I got my wisdom teeth out 2 years ago. Most people get them out when they're teenagers, but I think getting them out when you're 32 is a power move because now I have depression and I can enjoy the drugs a lot more. I've got a friend who got her degree in Egyptology and she could not find a job. So now she is paying to get her PhD in Egyptology. I had to sit her down and tell her that she was in a pyramid scheme. Frank Ocean and Hot Dog Water are really just the same name if you think about it. They say for a job interview and dates, you should just be yourself. Nah, you're probably unemployed and single because you are yourself. I recommend being someone else, like someone who's employed and likable. Do cannibals consider themselves humanitarians? If I told 5-year-old me that in 2020, most of the calls on my phone would be from robots, I would have been so excited. My cousin is pregnant. She decided to get her house baby-proofed. I'm assuming this is to keep out all the stray neighborhood babies. You know what they say, if you see one, there's a million in the walls. She bought a giant thing of baby formula, and I had to sit her down and tell her, you are already pregnant. You do not need another baby. You do not need to formulate one. Just be happy with what you have. We went out buying to go buy baby clothes. There is a disproportionate amount of neonatal clothes that have pockets. Why do baby clothes have pockets? Who goes to a baby and says, here, you hold this? Now that baby's packing. I am pro masturbation. I think it is very healthy for an adult to be able to know what makes them happy. This is not an official government stance, though. According to those fascists at Waimata, who took away my Metro card. I found a spider in my house. My boyfriend told me not to kill it, but to take it outside. So we went out for a few drinks. Turned out he's a really cool guy. He's a web developer. So stupid. Raising a child is way darker if you are a necromancer. You never feel more like a fuck up than 10 minutes after using super glue. I'm going to finish this with some high quality material. Sometimes, if you get a kink in your hose, it is really hard to get out. Watching shooting stars is beautiful, but from a distance. All right, you wasted 5 minutes of your life with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. We actually wasted 7 minutes and 18 seconds, but you've always been bad with timing, so it's okay. Guys, not only is Max very talented with one-liners, which is fucking amazing, also he's quite the artist. So give him the love in the little compliment section. Guys, thank you again so much for joining us on our virtual show. We'd rather be with you in person, but you know, this whole COVID-19 thing, it's not really working out for everyone. Your last comedian of the evening. She's super hilarious. You're going to love her a lot. Give it up for Diana. Woo! And,
Hey y'all, how's it going? Hey, how's everybody? So I don't really have any quarantine jokes because I have not been productive or creative this whole time. I ain't done shit. I'm telling you guys, I just been on my couch watching King of Queen and Golden Girls reruns. That's about it. And I just like want to go outside. I want to get my nails done. I want to get my chin waxed. Okay. And I really want to go to work because all these people want to do is just zoom, 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 and a zoom, zoom. And I can't take it. I'm tired of it. Like, I'm a Leo, and I realize that I just want to look good when I leave the house. Like, the house is my time to be ugly. And I don't want to look good no, I can't. In the house for what? Like our first work Zoom meeting, I was still in my robe and everyone else had clothes on. And I was like, oh, is this what we all doing? We're like really working from home with clothes on? Okay. Oh, my bad. Okay. But I'm blessed to be able to work from home. I still get my paycheck and, I can't really spend any money except at the grocery store, right? Like you feel like a baller. I'd be like, I'm gonna make some Lego lamb today. Like, yes, it's like make it rain in the grocery store because there's nowhere else to spend the money. And I'm looking at my paycheck like, was I always getting paid this much this whole time? Like, I had all this money. Where does it go? But let me tell you guys a little bit about myself. I'm from Silver Spring, right up the road. I live in DC, but I'm from Silver Spring. Yeah. But my mother's family is from Selma, Alabama. And if you know anything about Selma, you should know that it played a pivotal role in the civil rights movement. There's this whole movie called Selma, and my aunt and my mother and my grandmother, they were very active in the civil rights movement. They were there on Bloody Sunday, like they got their ass beat with Dr. King and John Lewis. I mean, like they were in the back, but they were there, right? And so my grandmother said to me one time, she was like, oh, when I shook Dr. King's hand, you could feel his power. And I was like, is that how you felt, Grandma? Because I don't know if you guys know this, but allegedly Dr. King was a little bit of a philanderer. Now, we only are getting this like from the FBI, so take that with a grain of salt. But like for the sake of tonight, we all friends in this virtual world, okay? Let's pretend it's true. My only question is, who the fuck was fucking Dr. King? And not just Dr. King, but the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Because after all this time, we ain't got a documentary, a tell-all book. We ain't got like a made-for-BET movie, me and Martin, my life as a side chick. Nothing. These side chicks took it to the grave, right? It was like, they had like some kind of coalition where they were like, we're going to put the cause above the coinage. Like, could you imagine like picture it, Birmingham, 1963. Okay. The coalition of Dr. King's side chick meeting will now come to order. Everybody's present. Let's review the minutes. Okay, are they approved? Okay, is there any new business? Yes, Sister Johnson. Well, apparently Martin and Coretta have had another baby. So I think we should send flowers, to congratulate them. We say it's from the women of the movement. Because, even though, they may have been discreet, you can't tell me they weren't petty. Every side chick got some petty in her, okay? They're probably like sitting in church, like looking at Coretta like, she thinks she all that. She don't ever speak to nobody. That's okay. That's why Martin told her he was locked up last night. He was locked up all right, locked between my legs. Okay. Yes. Can you imagine if like one of them wanted to break ranks and she was like, I got these pictures of me and Martin. I'm taking it to Life magazine. And they were like, don't you do it, Bernice. They were like, we will take up a collection before we let you besmirch the name of Dr. Kang. Like, it's amazing. Like, if you think about it, you could be anywhere in these United States standing next to an old black lady. She's like 75, and she could have fucked Dr. King. And you don't know. You do not know. And you never know. Okay. Now, look, when we can go outside again, y'all are going to be in like Walmart or like Starbucks or something, and you can be standing next to an old black lady. You can be looking at her like, you be trying to see her through her mask. Like, did you fuck Dr. King? I have to give it up to the old school side chicks because I may or may not have been a side chick in my day. And like, not to nobody famous, like, you know, but if somebody was like, hey, we're doing a tell-all book on side chicks to dudes named Jamal, would you like to contribute? I would do it. I would do it. And not even for no real money, for like unlimited wings and tacos. I'd be like, let me show you these text messages from him. Like, this is where he's saying he misses me. But look, on the Facebook, the chick is tagging, his wife is tagging him, talking about she love him, they love each other. She stupid. Please put in my contract that I would like my wings fried hard and carne asado tacos. Thanks so much. So I have to give it up to the old school side chicks. But I don't know if you guys know this, but in 1955, Dr. King was actually stabbed by a woman. And when I learned this when I was younger, and I was like, Mommy, who would stab Dr. King? And she was like, I don't know, girl. I was like, why would they do this? She was like, I don't know. And I didn't know either. But now, I don't know. Could have been a side chick, who was a little upset, right? She was like, you said you was going to call me. And when I find out you in Montgomery, organizing some bus boycott, and who is Rosa Parks? I'm just saying, it's a possibility. And so there should be a lesson to all you men out there for y'all to act right. Because if Dr. Kang can get stabbed, your ass is definitely getting run over. Okay, thank y'all. I'm Diana Vega. I put on a brown.
Hey, thank you, Diana. Woo, way to end our show. It is true. No man is safe. We will harm you, basically. So y'all ain't shit. Take a lesson from Diana Set. That was amazing as always. I would also do anything for unlimited tacos. I would do a tell-all book. Just like yours for life. I'd be like, what you need? Let's go. Come on. Guys, again, thank you so much for being here. We are Laugh Index Theater, lit for short. I'm going to put a link in the little message because we're also accepting donations. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we have scholarships that we want to give. We still are doing stand-up classes on like Stand-Up 101, Sketch 101. So these scholarships, it goes for diversity within our comedy community. So I'm going to go ahead and post the link for you guys. If you're able to donate, we would really appreciate it. Please, one more time, if y'all can just do this or just do in the chat box, give it up for all the comedians you saw. They are amazing. It is not easy to not perform in front of you guys because we also feed off of your energy. So really proud of our comedians tonight for doing such a good job. Really appreciate it. We have a show next week as well. It's our sketch show. If you guys want to check it out, we'll have shows on Wednesdays. Litcomedy.com is our website. And you can also find us on all the social medias too, Instagram and Facebook. And that is at the top of the chat box if you want to see that. Molly Ferns posted in there too. If you guys have any questions or anything, we're always happy to hear from people. Let us know. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Thank you again so much. And stand-ups, please stay on this call with me. Everyone else, bye-bye. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.